How's it, guys? Welcome back to the Rugby Connection podcast, the ultimate fan podcast, really. We cover everything. Anyway, we've got URC, Prem, PWR, and Seven this week, and the old faithful's back, but he's got some ink. It's Cam. How are we getting on?
Yeah, not bad. I got a tattoo, got a haircut, still have a receding hairline. Yeah.
Fair enough. Where would you like to start? Do you want to start in the Prem, or
Let's save the best to last, being the URC, obviously. Let's start the Prem.
to be fair, Premiership did not disappoint this week.
No.
Northampton Saints versus Quins, 36-33 at Franklin's Gardens. What a game! Just bang.
What a game.
Sale Bath was a bit closer, 11 points to 9. Sale coming up clutch at the end. Thank you, George Ford, for that one.
Yeah.
Gloucester versus Leicester. I thought they were going to do it at home. Tigers were too strong. 38-20 for the Tigers.
Pollard!
Saracens versus Bristol. Might have been closer than we all expected.
A lot closer than I expected.
But Saracens get the win, 39-31. And lastly, in the tune, Newcastle, valiant as hell against Exeter Chiefs, but coming up short, 20 points to 14.
Yes.
Saints versus Quins.
Saints versus Quins. Game of the week, I think, for the
Prem, yeah.
For the Prem, definitely. Start with a bang, 4 minutes.
Yep.
Kenna Murley goes over for his try. And then a bit, 4 minutes later, we get a reply. Walker goes over on 27. And then Northampton just unload.
I've never seen Danny Kerr miss the ball from coming out of the scrum to the point it nutmegs him, and Alex Mitchell takes full credit for it. That was a sight to behold. But you know what? You play with what's in front of you, and yeah,
it was a bit of a mad game, wasn't it?
I don't love how it ended.
Quins do get the last laugh in the way of try on 79, but too little, too late.
I did love how it ended though, because obviously they took that kick very quickly to regain the ball. They got the ball. They got up to about, I want to say, about the 10-meter line on their end.
Yeah.
Saints made a tackle, and instead of just trying to get a turnover, they just dragged Tyrone Green out. Out you go.
As you do.
That's you finished.
Yeah, game over.
Game over. You're not winning this game. But hats off to Saints, and I got it right. Big win at the Gardens.
Yeah, let's talk about one that I got right. Leicester Tigers versus Gloucester.
Oh, Ollie Hassel-Collins with a hat trick.
Oh, gorgeous. Very, very good. A returning Julian Montoya gets a try on the board as well.
Love that.
Kata, one of the World Cup favourites, he's on the board as well.
Scares me.
He's disgusting. He shouldn't be allowed. But just really well played. And I'm going to mention him again. Andre Pollard is the best fly half in the world. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay, cool. We'll leave it at that. I'm in an okay mood. I'm not going to argue with you today. We did get possibly a try of the year contender in Saracens versus Bristol, but it didn't come from the winning side. As good as Saracens were, came from Gabriel Ebatoye's innovation. He is hell strong. He's underrated. I feel like because of the whole moving from from Quins over to Israel to France and back again and so on, a lot of people just kind of like, yeah, he's just there as a number. No, he's not. Him in a Bristol jersey is terrifying. He's got a hell of a boot on him as well. But the big issue with the game, and I don't know if it's an issue or not, but it's the biggest talking point. Owen Farrell, in front of the show.
6 out of 8. 6 out of 8 missed.
That as well. I was meaning the whole issue with Luke Pearce.
Oh right, of course he had a little bit of an altercation with Luke Pearce. Say no need to be rude to me.
Yeah, but who's in the wrong there? Because for what, right? You don't tell a referee it's been this many times or whatever. But as much as I love Luke, I also don't feel like his response with "thanks, I can count" was
Yeah, I
ideal.
feel like the thing is, it is the captain's role to question the referee. That is the captain's job. I feel like Owen Farrell is fully within his right to be pointing something like that out to the referee. At the end of the day, it's up to the referee, whether it's actually happening. But it's nothing new. Captains do it all the time, and you catch it on the ref mic all the time. Captains challenging the ref, captains pointing things out to the ref, because that's a captain's job.
Exactly.
From what I've seen, Owen Farrell didn't do it in a particularly disrespectful way. I don't think he did it in any way that I haven't heard said before from any other captain. But yeah, I thought Luke Pearce's response was a bit like, "All right, mate, just chill out." He could have said, "Yeah, thanks, Owen. I'll sort it out," something like that, But yeah, I think it's getting talked about. I think it's getting over talked about.
Yeah,
I
I
really
agree.
don't think it's that big of a deal. But
That's how I started the video on TikTok about it. I was like, "Is it being blown out of proportion? Is it like
it
being
is
taken
being
out
blown
of
out of
context?"
proportion. I mean, Christ, if we look back at all the witty comments like Nigel Owens used to be giving players, um,
Some,
and nothing was made of those. So
but some people now think that the referees are now trying to become like the main character. No, they're not.
no, it's
Trust,
just
trust us when we say a referee would love nothing more than to not have his name in the match report at full time.
yeah. But then there is talks of Matteo Reynal after the World Cup said that he wants to do referee press conferences after games. So
Oh God! Oh
referees get
God!
a chance to explain their decisions, which I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but imagine doing it historically. Imagine Greg Joubert after Scotland Australia. Explain
Yeah,
what you did.
yeah, I would.
No, don't explain it. Just go away. Anyway, still in the Prem. Exeter getting a tight win. You thought it was going to be a bit of a runaway, but it wasn't. Newcastle, very, very good, very good, on
Yeah,
especially the defense for the most part. I think it just really came down to experience, gas in the tank. Exeter have had those nitty gritty ones. I know it is a very fresh team, but the coach and staff's been there, done that, and they know how to get through. They've got those experienced players like Jack Yendall, like Henry Slade. But yeah,
I was
um,
going to say that man again, Henry Slade, taking the game into his own hands, try himself, misses his own conversion, but then converts the next one. He is
yeah,
vital for that young Exeter team, isn't he?
yeah. Speaking of the young Exeter side, he did come off very early, but Emmanuel Fei-Waboso,
Mm.
35 seconds on the clock, and he scored an
Yeah,
absolute.
when I saw, because I didn't actually watch this game, but I always keep track of games. I got my notifications on Flash Score, and the match kicked off, and I got a notification straight away
Yeah,
for a try, and I was like, sorry.
yeah. I was meant to be there due to friend Murray McCallum, but family comes first, and that's it. But I'll get down eventually.
Yeah.
He said, hopefully. Anyway, predictions for week 8.
Oh, here we go.
Quins versus Sale at the Stoop.
I feel like Quins are becoming the new Bath. They're getting close to people, but they're not getting wins.
The Bath of old.
The Bath of old, yeah. Quins are at home. They're at the Stoop. You would like to say Quins to win, but Sale have been very strong. Um, it's a hard one to call, but I think I'm gonna edge Sale for this one.
Fair enough.
Either way
I'll
for
go Quins. I'll go Quins just because they're at home, and I can see what they're trying to do. So
yeah, it's. I think that's the annoying thing with teams when you can see what they're trying to do, but it's just not coming off.
fair. Bristol host Gloucester.
Oof, this is going to be a hell of a game. Bristol are a bit of a roller coaster this season, similar to last season as well. But that game against Saracens, they gave it a right go. They
They
did
did.
give it a right go against a pretty stacked Saracens team. Uh, Bristol at home. I still feel like I'm going to edge Gloucester.
Yeah, well, my rules are changing, so we're going to go Gloucester just because every time I go for the Bears, they let me down. So prove me wrong is my statement,
Yeah.
basically. Oh, this could be the game of the weekend. At the Rec, Bath versus Chiefs.
I I hate to say it, Murray, but I can see this being a comfortable win for Bath. No disrespect to your lads, like we've been saying, they are a young team, and
Mm-hmm.
they're coming up against a lot of experience in that Bath team,
Okay.
especially with the man in the middle, Finn Russell, pulling the strings.
Yes.
I do think Bath at home as well are going to be a little bit too much for this young Chiefs side, but I'd like to see them prove me wrong. I'm going to go with Bath though.
That's fine. That's all valid reasons, but back your team. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be close, but yeah, Chiefs for the win.
This next one could be juicy. This next one for me has the potential for game of the weekend.
Okay,
Because I think out of the teams currently on form, um,
these two.
it would be Saracens, Saints, Leicester, and Bath at the moment, and Sale also obviously there. Um, yeah, it's going to be a cracking game. Both teams have really flexed their muscles so far in the season.
Mhm.
But Saracens are at home. Uh,
No, bad. Saints for the win because I ain't backing Saracens.
yeah, I am going to back Saracens because they are at home and they're. You
Mm,
look at that team
mm.
sheet and it's absolutely deadly. But you never know because if Owen Farrell continues his kicking form, then
True.
Saints might have a open door into winning this match.
I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, running off on the Sunday, Leicester Tigers versus Newcastle Falcons.
Again, similar to that Bath game, this Leicester Tigers team is just absolutely stacked. You've got World Cup champions in there. You've got
Yeah.
experience with the likes of a Dan Coles, Julian Montoya. Um, yeah, Leicester Tigers by a fair margin.
Yeah, I agree with that. Leicester for the win. I'd like to see Newcastle do it and continue their like fight, but
Newcastle, as we saw last season, have some absolutely brilliant attacking weapons. One man comes to mind, Mateo Carreras, but
he's leaving.
I know he's leaving. It's a shame, but yeah, Leicester, comfortable victory, I think, at home.
I agree. Sticking with in English rugby, we have got the PWR, which is
Mhm.
great. I'm just going to quickly rattle off. Exeter Chiefs getting a big win over Bristol Bears 29-14 at Sandy Park. Champions Gloucester Hartbury are up and running very comfortably, beating the Tigers 52 points to 14. Sale
Yep.
Sharking, I would say a shock win over Quins, 35-31. Hell of a game that. And Trailfinders still trying to find their feet at the top tier.
Still trying to
Getting
find their trail.
I like that. Just absolutely demolished by Saracens and Molly Packer, especially because she just runs roughshod.
Yeah.
52-18 to Saracens. Now we'll quickly just predict
Oh, you
round.
missed one.
I didn't miss one.
Yeah, your Chiefs.
I said Chiefs. You're not even listening.
No, when did you say Chiefs?
I said Chiefs first. I said Chiefs got a big win over Bristol Bears at Sandy Park.
Why would you
Champions
say
Gloucester.
last game first? You're crazy.
No,
Anyway,
it came up first
predictions.
on mine. Predictions. Friday night we have Bristol Bears hosting Gloucester Hartbury.
Uh,
This could be a final this year.
it could be, but I can't. Oh, Bristol at home though. I still can't look past Gloucester.
Yeah, it's hard to look past the champions.
It is. It's always in anything. But yeah, I'm gonna back Gloucester for this one. Away from home though, it's a difficult one. I've backed a lot of away teams
Yeah,
this week.
you're liking it. It's all good. Yeah, yeah, Gloucester. I don't think it's going to be a runaway though. I do think it's going to be quite tight.
Oh yeah, I can see a bit of very tight game, but yeah, I'll tip Gloucester for this one.
Fair enough. Sale Sharks host Exeter Chiefs. Back your team. Let's go with Chiefs.
Oh, Yeah, Sale have been struggling to find their feet. So
They did get a win over
Chief,
Quinn, though.
they did get a win over Quins. But Chiefs, yeah, gotta back the Chiefs.
This game is tasty. Quins versus Saracens. Well, London derby very early on in the season.
It's gonna be a Saracens blowout, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a Saracens blowout. Yeah, that the ladies at Saracens are looking very scary.
The final game on the Sunday, Leicester Tigers versus Loughborough Lightning. This is a weird game because Leicester are very new. Loughborough are stacked. They just don't have. I don't know how to describe Leicester.
Yeah.
Loughborough, sorry. Like
Um,
their team is absolutely stacked with international talent, and then just don't win. It's very confusing.
since I back Leicester in the men's prem, I'll back them in the women's prem as well.
Fair enough. There we go. Before we go on to the URC, we've got something coming this weekend that we'll just quickly predict.
It feels like it's come around so bloody quickly.
Sevens is back.
It is.
We start off in Dubai.
Woo! It's my Dubai is my favorites. My favorite seven series for it. It's my favorite place for the sevens. I love Dubai. Maybe it's because South Africa have a good winning record there, but Kings of the Desert.
Kings of the. Oh, I like that. That's quite good. Well, who's winning the women's and who's winning the men's?
I'll start with the men's because it's what I've got in front of me. Obviously, I'm gonna say the Blitz box. We've got some returning talent coming back. Roscoe Speckman coming back, released by the Griquas to go play sevens. Yeah, and I just right now our seven setup is looking good. I don't like our jerseys, by the way. Our jerseys look a little bit trash, but other than that, I'm gonna back my boys, of course. With the ladies, it could be a host, you know. Sevens is a tough one because sevens has a lot more room for shock. I feel like 14-minute games, a lot. You know, I would probably want to back. Obviously, I want to back my girls, but we are still developing, similar to the 15s. Probably gonna say either the Kiwis, the New Zealand women's, or Fiji.
Okay, so for the men, it's very hard to look past Fiji, Argentina, All Blacks. One of them. I'm going to pick Argentina for that, just because it will change. For the women, I think it's very hard to look past Australia.
I didn't even think about that, you know.
Levi sisters, Demi Hayes, Charlotte Castle.
Right now, that women's Australia team is very. You know, I'm going to change what I'll say either Fiji or Australia then.
There you go. I mean, we just keep this is another box ticked because we've smashed it. We've had boys at the World Cup. We've had referees at the World Cup. We've had girls in WXV. We've got Prem. We've got URC. We've got PWR. We've also had guests from the sevens. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's just what
We've got a lot of them competing this weekend.
We do.
A lot of them.
We do. Lots in the GB and the Aussies colours mostly, but some All Blacks sprinkled through.
Yeah, a few All Blacks sprinkled in there.
One American. Yeah.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Right.
Should we go on to the tasty segment of the week, the one I've been looking forward to?
Go on then.
Okay, I'll kick us off then. We are back in the URC. Yeah, what a round, eh? What a round. We'll start on the Friday though.
It's the first week you've had bragging rights over me this season.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But we'll start on the Friday. We had Cardiff versus Stormers at Edinburgh versus Benetton. Cardiff versus Stormers. Cardiff getting a big win at home over the previous champions and finalists, 31-24, in a game riddled with annoying mistakes from the Stormers. Edinburgh versus Benetton. Benetton getting a massive win
Talk
in
about
the Hive.
mistakes.
The Hive, how is it? I hate that so much. I like the Dam. I'm gonna just keep saying the Dam. I don't care.
That's fine.
Yeah, massive win for Benetton, 24-22. What a comeback. What a comeback.
Can't even praise the come. This is what annoys me more. Like, I love a comeback. I love it when it happens.
But not when it happens to you.
No, not even that. Not when you gift them it.
Yeah, it's
Just wait a minute. Just put this into context. How annoyed I am. We scored 6 tries in the first half.
Yep.
3 were denied. 3 were given no try.
That's a rough one.
And 2 I can get, but then there was one that they went really, really far back for, and I'm like, okay. And then it just felt like we lost all motivation then, because they're just like,
You are still above them in the table, though. So you got that going for you.
I love that.
You do have got that going for you.
Oh, it was just so frustrating. The second half, especially. Like, I don't know what Blair and Ben Healy Kinghorn and Ben Healy were trying to do. Lack of communication. Marco Zanon gets a try.
I think it's because Blair Kinghorn's been practicing his French so much that he's
He scored 2. He scored 2 great tries as well. It was
really
weird.
When is he due to leave?
Not this weekend coming, the following weekend.
Right. Do you see him playing this weekend coming?
Against Ulster, yeah.
You think? Don't think they're going to give him a little break?
No.
Say a goodbye party?
No.
Rinse him for all he's worth.
Just rinse him. Have him get cramp, and then he can't play for Toulouse for a few. No, I'm joking.
Anyways, on the Saturday.
Yes.
What a day this was. What a day this was. Welcome to South Africa. We had the Lions versus Zebra, 61-19 for the Lions. What a massive victory. I've been saying for ages that this Lions team is the real deal. They've got young talent, and there's something about this Lions team. There's a chemistry within this team.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chemistry within this team, and on Saturday, it all just clicked, and it was such a fucking good game. Excuse my language, such a good game to watch. Watching the Lions really hit their stride. I know it's against Zebra, but Zebra been decent this season.
They have. Yes.
Watching the Lions hit their stride was so refreshing after a good tour as well, a fairly decent tour for them.
Yeah.
Bulls versus Connacht, 53-27. Villy LaRue making his debut in a Bulls jersey, scoring a debut try as well. Bulls are also looking pretty good this season.
And try scoring must run in the family because Aker van der Merwe scored a beauty as well.
Some would argue a better finisher than his brother.
The URC themselves tried to argue that.
They did,
I was like, Duhan.
It's gonna be interesting when Edinburgh played the Bulls. If only Aker could have played in that game.
I know. I was so good. I really wanted to see.
Imagine a foot race, but I think we'd know who'd win out the brothers. But I wonder who hits harder.
I don't know because
Aker is shaped like a cement block.
But Aker's used to hitting. That's his job. Then there's Duhan. It's like he's just going to run it, and then he cuts in and move.
No, big win for the Bulls. The Bulls are looking on good form. It's quite refreshing seeing the Stormers being the worst South African team at the moment. Well, I can't say that because my Sharks have not been great. But this weekend, oh my God, don't dip your toes into a Shark Tank because we have our Great Whites back. Oh, what a game that was. 69-14 over the Dragons. I was worried. I was worried the Dragons might even beat us because of the woeful form we had been in. And my boy said, no, let us cook. And they remembered how to play rugby. Obviously, the return of a lot of our big names, Makazole Mapimpi, Ebenezer Oxenshea, and Lucanio playing for the second time.
Question.
Go on.
How do you let Eben run it in from that far out? Just putting that, just putting it out there.
Because he's got unassuming pace. You look at him and you think he's too tall, he's not fast, but those legs travel about 3 times the distance of a normal human stride.
Like a mighty giraffe.
He is. He galloped like a giraffe over that try line, and it was gorgeous. What a little tap and go from Mapimpi as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I understood the tap and go from a Pimpy. Fine, that's what he does. But then he flicked out quite far out, and then Eben just ran. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh. But you know what? A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, the South African team struggled to play without their Springboks." And yes, it's true, especially with the Sharks, because we probably got the most Springboks who we can lose and regain from international windows and whatnot. But you know what it is? I think just having those players there brings out the best in the rest of the team, because we saw standout performances from players like Afaleli Fassi, Werner Koch again. He's always a standout for us. Kerwin Bosch playing a much better game. And then my new best friend, Buerta Chamberlain, comes on the pitch. What a beautiful try assist to Lukanya Wam in those sort of dying minutes there. Just the cherry on top. And oh, my guy, Grant Williams, another returning Springbok, another world champion, you know, comes back, scores 2 tries like it's nothing.
There you go. Fair enough.
Oh, and Pepsi Buthelezi as well. He's going to be in a Springbok jersey soon.
He's just naming the whole team at this point, Cam.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, it was so refreshing to just see every single player on that pitch. In fact, every single player in that 23-man squad put on the performance of their life, and it was beautiful.
There you go. You know what wasn't beautiful? The result of the Aviva.
Yeah, it was probably one of the biggest derbies you can get, really. Leinster versus Munster.
Over
One of the most heated.
45,000.
Yeah, I know. It was a big one.
Jeez.
Um,
It's not even the effective derby yet. I don't know what. Usually they do that like at Christmas, like Christmas Eve or something.
I suppose they do have another one. I'm pretty sure they've got their next one on around Christmas.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it was an odd game because you had Munster having everything in the first 20.
Yep.
Then you had Leinster sort of taking control in the second 20 of that first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half was just a swing of momentum back and forth, back and forth. I won't say it was a boring game because I don't think it was a boring game. I was quite.
I don't think Munster will ever be boring just because of the caliber.
I think it was an entertaining game, and I think in those last sort of 15 minutes or so where Leinster were quite comfortably ahead, you were thinking, can Munster nick the game here? Jack Crowley does put over a kick on 74 minutes, but after that they didn't get the score that they needed. Probably should have gone maybe for the line with that penalty, you would argue.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, you know, Leinster have had the wood over Munster in these derbies for quite a while. Obviously, you had the result in the semi-final last year when Munster did win and they went on to win the competition. But other than that, overall, Leinster tend to have the wood over Munster in these derbies.
Except for when it actually matters.
Not really a shock. And to be fair, I did say Leinster are going to win it comfortably, I believe. So I was wrong, and I was pleased that I was wrong. Let's talk about Glasgow.
Oh my God, what comeback!
33-20 over Ulster again. Quite the comeback. Ulster go out to a quick 14-0 lead. And then again, game of 20s. Glasgow come back then, make it 14-all. Happy days. Early try. 51 minutes into the second. 51 minutes. Second half try. Puts them ahead. Ulster penalty. Matthews goes up for a try.
That's all I want to talk about.
Go on.
Johnny Matthews. Bear in mind, he is a hooker.
Yep.
Now got 31 tries for Glasgow Warriors, equaling Stuart Hogg, and he's also in the top 5 top tries all time for
What
Glasgow
was
Warriors.
he? What? How many tries was it last season he scored in one game? 5?
He got 5 in a Champions Cup game.
5 in
Sorry,
a
yeah.
Champions Cup game it was, wasn't it?
Challenge Cup. Sorry, Challenge
Yeah, of
Cup. But
course.
yeah,
Yeah, of course. It was Glasgow in the final, wasn't it?
scored 5, and people are like, "Oh, but they're all off a maul." So what?
Literally a hooker's job.
Apart from the Ulster game when he ran it in from 22,
Oh, but he does that. He is.
just
Yeah,
just
he's.
get him in that team. It's ridiculous now how good he is.
But he does get 2, which is scary.
I thought he was actually a lot younger than he is, which tells you how it's never too late, really. In
Yeah,
Scotland, he's steady.
yeah. But never too late. If we've learned anything from the likes of a Dion Faree, never too late.
Even if you go closer to him for Scotland, Dave Cherry was 31 when he got his debut. So there you go.
Exactly. Onto a derby that maybe didn't feel quite as tense. Ospreys versus Scarlets. Listen, Ospreys very, very good. Kieran Williams, he's got to be in a red jersey come Six Nations, surely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Very, very good player. Making it look easy. Um, yeah, the Scarlets just never found their stride.
That's it.
Uh,
I mean, you did ask that last week. Who's hurt more from their defeats? Evidently, Scarlets had more hurt.
yeah. What I didn't realize is that the Ospreys have a cheaters loan with Kasende.
Okay.
I heard his name on the team sheet, and they said, "Oh yeah, Kasende on loan from the cheaters," and I was like, "What a cameo!" I didn't realize the cheaters are giving the Ospreys Kasende. Um, but yeah, yeah. Listen, it's a
Big win in Swansea. That.
big win for the Ospreys. Obviously, local derby. I mean, living here because I live sort of in a Scarlets caption zone. All Scarlets fans around here. It does mean a lot, and there's going to be a lot of grumpy Scarlets fans coming into work and whatnot. But yeah,
Fun.
Jack Walsh, very good player. Johan Lloyd for Scarlets. Again,
Yes.
also you've got the likes of Sam Costello, Johan Lloyd. So there's a lot of young talent in that Scarlets team. But yeah. Should we go on some predictions?
Yes, because next week has got some tasty fixtures.
Got some very tasty ones. Starting off with Munster versus Glasgow.
Oh,
This game has a feeling about it for me. I don't know why. Munster Glasgow.
it was a final. It was a Pro 12 final.
Yeah, it's just got something about it. Both teams have been on good form.
Overall, yeah. Overall. Mm-hmm.
I think Glasgow probably on better form.
I'm going to give Glasgow the win just because they don't give up as they showed last
I
week.
I, I too am going to give Glasgow the win for this match because they've looked, like you said, it just doesn't matter if they're down, they just come back and equalize and then win. So yeah. On to the Saturday. Oh,
Yes.
talking about derbies,
Yes, here we
Bulls
go.
versus Sharks. We've got to travel over to Pretoria, in the Highveld. This is going to be the real test for the Sharks team. We've got our big guns back now. If we play anything close to how we played on the weekend, this is going to be an absolutely intense game. Both of these teams finding their form this weekend with big wins. The Bulls probably more consistent over the season, but I do have full faith in my Sharks now that we've hit our stride. We know what we're trying to do, and we just need to keep our momentum going. So obviously, I'm going to back my boys with a close victory against the Bulls. And you're going to say the Bulls, aren't you?
No? No, I think the Sharks will win.
Okay, good.
You've got all your big boys back, and I think your big boys are better
Better
than
than their
them.
big boy.
Yeah.
I like that. Literally, they're bigger boys. Auction
Yeah,
Shea Ebenezer.
you're not much bigger than Ox and Eben, but anyway.
Another Welsh derby, Cardiff versus Scarlets this time. And again, I don't. It's going to be misery for the Scarlets. Another game away from home. Yeah, comfortable win for Cardiff, I have to say, especially after that game against the Stormers. There's one man for Cardiff in particular. Mason Grady is absolutely
So
tearing up at the
it's so
moment.
good.
Playing on the wing as well for Cardiff, which is scary. And yeah, that man as well, Tinas De Beer, was looking quite comfortable at fly half, controlling the game. So yeah,
Yeah,
Cardiff.
I think Cardiff will win just because they beat last year's finalists, and Scarlets have shown next to nothing this season. Really?
Yeah, I mean, let's just go through some of the losses they've had. They lost to the Lions at home.
Yeah.
They've lost to their local rivals, Ospreys.
They got beat by Leinster,
They
but it's
got
okay.
walloped by Leinster. Ain't been looking good. Does
Oh
not been,
well.
have they won a game?
Yeah.
They
Yes.
okay. They've beaten Cardiff at home. 31-25. Otherwise, all losses. Obviously, the two big hammerings in South Africa at the start of the season as well.
Yeah. It's not been good.
Talking about in South Africa, Lions versus Dragons. Again, if the Lions are playing like they did against Zebre, I don't think it's going to be a fun day for the Dragons again because the Lions are right now looking like probably the most dangerous South African team in terms of just outright attack.
Yeah. It's hard to argue with that. I'm going to go for the Lions as well because I don't know how
Uh,
much to add to that one.
Stormers are back at home playing the traveling Zebre. Stormers at home, although they've had a terrible tour.
They have.
Stormers at home, Stormers in Cape Town, DHL Stadium. Yeah, Zebre might run in a few tries, but I feel comfortable win for the Stormers surely, and I feel like they're going to have some of their big names back again because they're in South Africa. So we're going to see the likes of a Damien Willemse, who seems to still be partying.
Quite right.
Damien Willemse is still just having a great time. So hopefully we'll see him back at work and the likes of a Manny Lebok, Dion Free, all them.
Yeah.
Ulster versus Edinburgh. Tough one for your boys away from home.
This whole month for us is tough.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
It's fine because we'll fix the mistakes that we did last week. We're going to get the tries. Every time we put the ball down, it's going to be a try. We're going to beat Ulster. There you go.
Okay. I think Ulster will win.
Eat shit.
Benetton back home playing the Ospreys. There's only it's just Benetton. Like Benetton are a team.
They're a very good team.
Like Benetton, you can't say it's just one of them Italian teams. It's just Benetton. No, because Benetton will just beat you. They will.
Yeah.
They
Especially,
beat us last season. They did this season. They're going to beat the Ospreys again. So,
if you make mistakes, they will pounce on it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Benetton. I don't think it's going to be comfortable because the Ospreys are more than capable of playing the game themselves. But Benetton to get a good win. Next one, Connacht versus Leinster. Connacht back at home. Leinster travelling over to Galway.
Come on, sold out as well.
What are Leinster going to go full whack? Probably.
I don't care. I'm backing the boys in green. I'm the Galway boys. I'm not backing Leinster for a sec.
Yeah,
Plus,
no, I can't bring myself to back Leinster, so I'll back Connacht as well.
I'm using South African franchise logic here. Connacht are back at home, so we're getting the big boys back. We're getting Bundy, we're getting Mac.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just putting out there. Do it.
That's the URC for next week. We have a bit of news here and there.
Lovely.
Obviously, as previously mentioned, Blair Kinghorn is on his way out.
Yes, it's
Going
not
to play.
Melvin Germany's fault.
Yeah. Why'd he got to leave?
He wanted to go home to Toulon. Could have waited.
Could have waited. But no, I suppose they do have Thomas Ramos there already.
He's now at 10. He's been playing 10 for the last few years.
So we could be seeing the likes of a DuPont,
Yeah.
Ramos,
Yeah.
Kinghorn combo.
Oh no, so somebody asked me this, like, where would he play? If they're all fit, if there's no injuries, this is how I would line up the backline for Toulouse. DuPont, Ramos at 10. I'd sort Intermacken at 12. I'd move out Peter Ake, or you could use Santi Alcabares, whatever preference. You then got Juan Cruz Malia on one wing. You've got Ange Capotes on the other, and you've got Blair Kinghorn at fullback.
That's dangerous. Got three fullbacks on the pitch. You look at Toulouse's three trade fullbacks: Ange Capote, Blair Kinghorn, and Thomas Ramos. That's disgusting.
It's a back three in itself.
Talk about depth.
It's a piss take. It is.
And
Well,
another man in the top 14 made his debut this weekend.
Yeah, Sia Khaleesi's
a certain Sia Khaleesi, my captain, made his debut for Racing against La Rochelle. Very good win for Racing. Big win for Racing. You know, we got...
game? You know who scored in that game? Henry
Arundel again. He's having a field day. Absolute field day.
He is loving it.
He's found his... It's a shame, isn't it? Because the Premiership is losing such good talent. England are going to have to...
They're going to have to change it.
They're going to have to change their eligibility rules because you lose a player like Henry Arundel, you're done.
That's your future, though.
That boy is the future of England rugby, so they need to change something because, yeah, it's not looking good for them.
Well, if Henry Arundel is
Marato also linked with a move potentially to, I think it's between Lyon or I can't remember the other one.
I've seen Toulon, Lyon, and Racing are the big.
I'd quite like to see a Maratoja and a Lyon jersey. And anything that weakens the Saracens is a good thing.
Yes, sign me up. Sign them. Take them.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I just think that now that with all these players wanting to go across, I mean, to be fair, people are like questioning Maro's loyalty. I'm sorry, right? If you're getting, and it is just speculated, if you're getting offered half of what you're currently earning, I wouldn't sign it.
No.
Nobody in their right mind would go, yeah, sure, I'll take half.
No. But do you know what I think it is? And a lot of people say, these players are only going to the top 14 for the money.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a reason because it's their career. But yeah. I'm sorry, but currently the top 14 and just the rugby culture in France at the moment is the best in the world.
That's so good.
The top 14, as much as I truly love the URC, and for me, the URC is my favorite. The top 14 is the best league in the world, just based on just fan interaction, fan attendance, fan investment in their teams. I saw a thing, especially in the light of the World Cup and international rugby obviously takes precedence, is the main product for rugby, unlike other sports such as football. Club rugby doesn't feel as important anymore, especially with the formations of leagues like the URC, because it's now a global league, because you no longer have that such emphasis on those little local derbies. It doesn't feel as important. Whereas in the top 14, it still has that importance to it. So it made me think, like we've been talking about having a world league where we see some of the Super Rugby teams playing and whatnot. Would that actually be good for the sport on a club level? maybe not.
It's hard because there's no wrong answer.
The way I see it is okay, so take it my way. In Wales, right? Say I'm a Scarlets fan and I get the option of I can buy tickets to a Scarlets versus Ospreys fixture. Happy days. I'm probably going to buy those tickets because there's that rivalry there. Or am I going to buy tickets to a Scarlets versus Highlanders game? I don't know who the bloody Highlanders are. Because I'm just a casual rugby fan who supports the Scarlets. I think we lose perspective of the fact that the majority of people who are attending these games are casual supporters and supporters of just their team, and they don't really know much about the other teams.
Okay, so if it's from a casual fan perspective, it's a bad idea. But from the diehards like me and you, it's yes.
Oh no, 100%. I'd love to see a World League because I want nothing more than to see Crusaders versus Leinster or something like that. But
there's at the Hive.
The casual fans make up the vast majority of people who are buying these tickets. So it's an interesting topic. It's something that I think does need to be talked about a bit more because there is an issue with the club game at the moment. You know, and we've seen leagues like the Premiership struggling with teams. You know, even in America, which was supposed to become the forefront of rugby going forward, we've had another team in the MLR saying that they won't be able to continue. Toronto Arrows have said that they won't be competing next season, which is, you know, as much as I know you don't particularly like the MLR, but it is a big blow.
You don't want any team to go down.
No, it's a big blow for Canadian rugby as well, because that was their only team competing in a big competition like that. So
it's not great the fact that they're not the next host, they're the ones after that. So
yeah,
less than a decade they're meant to host the World Cup and their leagues like in tatters, and they're not even in the World Cup themselves.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a tricky one.
We will end it on a high though, because after a few weeks of hiding in the wilderness, we have got an interview coming. Back on the Sevens circuit as well with Jordan Edmonds, formerly of Scotland Sevens. He was at the Commonwealth Games with Scotland. He's in the Team GB squad. He's not going to Dubai for reasons they made the squad. He is a contractor player with Team GB though, which is great. And he's also an Edinburgh player, so he's getting bonus points for me. And he also knows me on TikTok. There you go. That was a big bonus. So yeah, we'll be interviewing Jordan some point this week, and after I've interviewed him, it will go out on YouTube and Spotify, etc. And yeah, but it's good to finally get a response. Feels so good. But we'll end it on that because what's rugby? That's
the rugby that's happened this week. Obviously, follow us on the Instagrams, follow us on the TikToks, follow Murray on LinkedIn. I'm not on LinkedIn, as we always say, because I'm not cool.
Not cool. LinkedIn doesn't work. It did work for a while. Now it doesn't again.
Well, anyways, as always, been a pleasure, and we'll catch you next week with Sevens, URC, Prem, Women's Prem, some other bits and bobs.
Someday I'll say something during the week that'll be newsworthy.
Yeah. But yeah, just watching, guys.